Alrighty, folks. So there's a lot of videos on YouTube that say you have to remove all this extra shit, like your control arms and all this other bullshit. That's exactly what it is. It's bullshit. So first, you're gonna have to get you a deep well 36 millimeter socket. You don't use a deep well, you won't reach it. That takes your axle nut off. Highly recommend you do that with the tire on, all the weight on the tire before you jack it up. Sorry, my outside cat loves me, and I'm allergic to cats, so it's kind of fucking with me. So that's cool. But you're a good kitty, ain't you? Yeah. Oh yeah. Anyways, so obviously I'll dumb it down in case you have never done anything like this before. You have a cotter pin that will sit and look like, well, apparently I've fucking lost mine. Oh no, there it is right there. You'll have this sitting on that like that, and this cotter pin will be sticking out. Straighten that out. I just used a pair of welpers. I'm a welder, so I have a shit ton of these laying around. And then take that off, take that guy out. And I actually left that in, like left that bolt on there a couple threads, and then took a rubber mallet. Especially if you're just taking it apart and you're gonna reuse the CV axle or whatever like this. I'm pulling this off of a parts truck to put on that truck. It's part of the reason why I'm out here in the rocks. It really sucks ass. But I just tapped that a few times. To that way I didn't mess up the ends or my threads. But basically what you're doing there is making sure that it's broke free. If you're worried about it might be seized up or something inside your hub, you don't want to fuck stuff up. That's how you do that. And pull that out. And then all you gotta do is take your sway bar link out, which this one is already out. Whenever I go over and do that one, I'll make a video how to remove the sway bar link. But once you remove it, then it's just the 12 millimeter bolts on the CV axle. And I just got an extension and this little jobby. So when we get over there to that truck, when we're doing reinstall, I'll go over the torque spec because I don't really know it off the top of my head. But yeah, get you a pry bar or a good flathead screwdriver. Kitty, come on, dude. Gonna make me die here soon. Helps if you have a longer pry bar, but just use that to rotate it. Other than that, I'm gonna stop recording for a minute while I unscrew these, and then. But the plan is, once you unscrew those, this thing should slide out the back, right out the bottom, and in between here. I was gonna try to do it without jacking the truck up, but I mean you can technically if you really like to struggle, but you won't be able to rotate your wheel on the ground to get up to the top bolts. So it takes like 5 seconds with an impact to take your tire off. So do as you will with that information. But anyways, I'll see you in a minute. All right, so you'll have 6 bolts on your deal. One thing I didn't point out to you earlier is use a 12-point socket because as you can see, these bolt heads are very, like, you'll round one off pretty fucking easily with a 6-point socket, and then you have a bigger problem than you really want to deal with. And as you can see, these are factory because they have like the yellowish looking I wouldn't say that's so much Loctite. That more looks more like man, what the hell is that shit called? Anti-seize. So anyways, they are kind of a pain in the ass. So if you, like, I was using this socket or this ratchet earlier, and this is only good for like 185 foot-pounds only, wild, but it wouldn't remove all of them. It only removed one of them actually. So I'd use this bad boy. But if you don't have either one of them, no big deal. Just put your wheel back on the truck, put like 1 or 2 lug nuts, set some weight on it. As gay as this shit sounds, bust them loose from underneath, jack it, give 1 or 2 pumps on the jack, or you can put like a pry bar in here and block this, however you want to do it. But just know, if you don't have a rack or an impact, shit's about to get super gay. And this cat is still just all up in my business for this video. But at any rate, now Let's see if I can do this one-handed. I know this ain't gonna work. Oh, come on. Yeah, this ain't gonna work one-handed. So, we're gonna see if this will work. I kind of iffy on it now that I'm trying to do it. Maybe them people on the videos are on to something. But, yeah, we'll see. So I'm back to you with more knowledge. So, I put this guy back on there real quick just to cinch that up, and then used a handy dandy pry bar, and I pried against something really that's not important, like a tie rod. But yeah, you just pry that down, and yeah, I think I pried it to the wrong fucking side though. But man, this shit of recording and doing this is really a struggle fuck, not gonna lie to you. But yeah, you pry that down, and now we just I gotta sit here and use both hands for this, but we're just trying to pry this thing out the bottom now. And yeah, this is really a pain in the ass doing this one-handed. So I'm gonna get off here and I'll get back to you in a minute. We might be homeward bound now. So I came over here and I came through the top up here with my pry bar, like so. And I just pried that, if you can see or not, where it was, I just pried it directly over. So that way it didn't go over and down and get caught on the bottom lip of that. But she's free now, I think. See if she'll come out now. Oh, come on. This is really hard to do one-handed. Yep, there you go. That's how you remove a CV axle with just removing the sway bar link. So, there she be. And that's a good axle. All that oil is from, this is a donor truck. It got a motor knock. I think it spun a rod bearing, or main rod, piston rod bearing. Yeah, piston rod, main bearing, Jesus. TBI's talking, sorry homies. And they started it up without putting the oil filter back on after they diagnosed it. And yeah, it made getting shit out a little bit easier, but kind of made a fucking mess of everything. So yeah, I hope this helps. I'm gonna go there and make a couple more videos or clips on that truck, putting it back in. But now you know. All right, so here we are. 14 millimeter bolt for your sway bar link. I put a wrench on the top, and I'm gonna go underneath with a socket wherever I just set that at. But I'm gonna have to do that separate anyways. I can't record and do that at the same time. But that's how you remove them. From what it sounds like, they're kind of a motherfucker too, if they've been there for a while, which these, I'm almost positive have. I might have pulled these out once, so it might not be as bad as I think. But if they are, you can drive without these. You'll just have more body roll. And if you're actually using it as a whole ranch truck or something, I actually recommend taking them out because you'll have more front end articulation. Just know that if you're driving on the road at highway speeds, you'll get a little squirrely if you're not used to it. Yeah. Now you know. If you didn't know, now you know. Which I'm just sitting here turning this motherfucker for no reason now. But anyway, at any rate, I'm going to take these off, and then I think the only thing I have left to show you all is putting back in, which really the big thing you need to know about putting back in is it's going to be kind of a crapshoot because it's kind of going to be a pain in the ass to put this back in the hole. Coming from that way, it was the last time I did this when I removed everything off. So I imagine this time won't be any different. Hopefully not, but and I think that jack is right in the fucking way. That is awesome. So yeah, that definitely is. So I'm gonna have to reposition that by putting the wheel back on and redoing that. So that's fucking cool. But anyways, the big thing is when you gotta put these back on is put your bolt on the top, or put like one bolt in it loosely and then just rotate. If you can either rotate it or if you can put one on the top to kind of hinge it, if that makes sense, and then start all your bolts obviously first. I myself, in one of these drawers, yeah. So I had a little mishap. The whole reason why I'm working on this truck right now is because I didn't use some of this shit on a hub. So Don't use red, obviously, because as you can see, man-made shit breaks. You want to make sure that you can be able to get to it again without, you know, throwing away a whole truck. But this shit right here, it'll keep it in place. It's pretty cheap shit too, really. I think it's like 10 bucks for this, and this thing will last my lifetime. So, at any rate, I'm gonna put that on my CV bolts. That way there's no way they'll ever back out accidentally. And then I'm gonna actually do the same thing on these hub bolts. I'm gonna back these hub bolts one at a time and dope them up. And then I gotta actually do a brake caliper, I think, on this truck. So, which I don't know. I think it's just catching. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace that brake caliper. And yeah. But at any rate, I hope this video helps y'all. Mind my combat Crocs. These things have seen like 3 combat tours. So don't judge me. But yeah. At any rate, that's all I got for you. There's another example of them bolts being 12 point, but hope that helps. All right, so the torque spec for these guys, put that in, by the way, was not that hard. It was pretty fucking easy. It might be a little bit more difficult if you're putting a brand new CV axle in that's not kind of limber. Might be a little bit more of a pain in the ass, but it's really not too bad. So I'll tell you, the torque spec on these is 90 pounds from what I've read. It's actually 89, so I'm gonna do 90. I'm putting a dab of blue Loctite on the tip of each one of them bolts, just to make just peace of mind, I guess. Got my torque wrench in here. I'm kind of snugging them down first, and then I'm gonna go through and hit them. But how I'm doing this, so I don't have to take the wheel off every time. I was trying to show you guys that earlier, but I did a terrible job of describing it. How your rotor has these slots, you take a flathead screwdriver, set it in there when you're torquing it down. On the other side, or whenever you're doing it, taking it off, I use an impact because it's a lot easier. You don't have to worry about this shit, but do the same thing, but on the back side, it's kind of more of a pain in the ass on the back side because you have gravity trying to make it fall out, but you can also just put a big pry bar in here like this, like so, you know, and do it one-handed. Or you can just set the truck down, whatever you want to do. It works either way, but hope that helps a little bit. Oh yeah, and then your hub bolts back here. I did 2 of them already. I kind of over-torqued the fuck out of them because I read the wrong torque spec for the wrong thing. So I put them at 150, but they're supposed to be about 130. So there is that. I'm not going to fuck with it because, I mean, I'm pretty over this shit right now, if I'm honest with you. But at any rate, I hope this helps y'all. Yeah.